Welcome back to Tips from the Top. I'm your host, John Prieto. And this tip today is about a silent health hazard, mold. And with me today is Nathan Raymond with West Coast Restoration and Cleaning, an expert on mold. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me here today, John.
So I'd like to start out with Webster's definition of mold. Okay?
All right.
Crumbling, soft earth suited to plant growth. So sounds like it's everywhere. What's the big deal?
Well, John, you are correct. Mold is everywhere. It's ubiquitous in nature. It is indoors and out. It is only when we find certain strains of mold within the home at concentrated and elevated levels do we run into concerns of potential health hazards.
So we know mold is a health hazard. I'm just teasing you, of course. How can I identify it? If I got somebody complaining in my household, how do I identify if I have mold?
Well, John, mold typically is found by means of two ways, smelling and seeing. Seeing is the obvious one.
Mm-hmm.
You see it, you know it's there, it's got to get removed. The next most obvious one is smell, since musty, mildewy odors are usually associated with mold growth. That usually gives us an indicator that there may be an underlying issue within the structure that should be investigated.
If I suspect mold and I want to know if I have mold or I want to prevent mold, what are some of the things I should be doing?
Well, John, in terms of preventive maintenance, airing out the home is a great way to prevent mold issues, specifically as it relates to moisture problems.
Mm-hmm.
We want to look under sinks. We want to look under bathroom sinks, for that matter. Any area of the home where water is constantly used, we want to check those areas to see whether or not there are any moisture-related issues. If there are, we want to dry them right away.
Mm-hmm.
Mold needs moisture to grow, so the quicker we dry that area, the less there is that concern that mold may grow.
Okay, so I go around the whole house, open all the doors, turn the fans on, think I've done my job, and I'm still getting complaints, and I give you a call. Number one, does it cost anything for you to come out and take a look? And number two, what do you do when you come out?
We generally speaking don't charge to do a mold inspection.
Mm-hmm.
As it relates to the specific concern you have.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a general concern, that might be a little bit of a different story.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things we do is we use moisture detection equipment. We use thermal imaging cameras, moisture meters, etc. And we're searching for moisture sources within the home that are maybe unseen to the naked eye.
So you come out, you think everything's okay, we're still complaining, and we want to know absolutely for sure. There's some scientific methods you can use to know for sure whether we have or don't have mold?
There are. The only means available at this time is air sampling. Air sampling works by means of taking an air sample from that particular area of concern.
Mm-hmm.
We then send that sample off to a laboratory, and the laboratory is able to generate a scientific report that gives us an indicator of what kind of mold spores are in that area and whether or not they're at concentrated levels in comparison to an outside sample that we take during that process.
Well, that's some great advice. So I think the takeaway, everybody, is keep things dry, air it out, turn the fan on, check under the sinks. And if you have a question, give Nathan a call. Here's his phone number. And have him do an air sample if you're really concerned. Thanks for coming in, Nathan. I really appreciate it. Mold is a silent health hazard, so thanks again for coming in.
Thanks for having me, John.
And thank you for watching. And stay tuned for another issue of Tips from the Top. I'm your host, John Prieto.